on the basis of developers and speculators and assorted parasites taking their cut, pushing up the price of housing, deciding what gets built, when it gets built, and failing to meet the need of communities that is out there. That's the reality. So we gather today to condemn that and to build an organisation, to build a movement, to build a struggle that can challenge that situation effectively. That's really what we're up against. And we need to recognise how extreme the situation is in Canada. The gap between the price of housing and the income that people have is at levels that exceeds other OECD countries. The Swiss bank UBS recently said that the housing bubble in Toronto is the most acute urban housing bubble anywhere. That's a testimony to the fact that profits and money and vested interests are driving the process of providing housing in this city. And if we say there is a lack of housing, in one sense that's not true. There is so much housing being built. I saw one estimate that suggested that perhaps 65,000 condo units sit empty in this city being held by speculators. That is like a situation where people are starving and there are warehouses full of food. That's the enormity, the injustice that is being confronted here today. So we have to get past the notion that all we can do is ask the developers and the bankers and their political enablers at City Hall for a few more crumbs. The notion of an innovative project today is upscale housing in which there are a few token units of so-called affordable housing provided. And if they'll throw in a bit of park space, then we think it's a new trail being blazed for social justice. It is an obscenity that housing is being provided on that basis in a city that could meet the needs of everyone so quickly and so fundamentally. And we can't any longer talk about allowing the developers and their political representatives to dominate the agenda. We have to demand truly affordable housing, and that means demanding social housing. That means getting back to a fight for social housing. That's absolutely necessary. We don't want a few tokens, crumbs from developers. We want a commitment to house people adequately and decently at rents they can afford. And right here, just up the road, we have really, I think, a landmark battle in that regard. At the corner of Dundas and Sherbourne, where for years, empty lots, people have been demanding that that be turned into social housing, and campaigns have been taken up. And now that property has been bought up by a condo developer. And the plan is to put yet another obscene condo, yet another palace to testify to greed and inequality, and to put it right in that neighbourhood that so desperately and fundamentally needs the right to housing to be recognised. And so 230 Fight Back has been formed. There is going to be a struggle just up the road that is absolutely landmark and absolutely critical. Because the reality is that we can deplore what the developers are doing. We can condemn what City Hall is doing. But unless we organise the strength of communities to fight back, we're not going to change a damn thing. So let's today, on this day of all days, recognise that housing is a right, but it isn't something we request, it isn't something we demand, it isn't simply something we demand, it's something we're prepared to fight for. Thank you very much.